Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. I am Katrina Jameson. I am your host and the founder of Legend Leaders, where we arm female business leaders with the strategies they need to master the one rule and live life on their terms. A legend life. See how I threw that in there? Mastering the one rule. Yes, that's becoming more and more a part of what we're doing here at Legend Leaders. It's the best way that I have found to describe what we do and how we best serve you. And so in the month of June, we're going to talk about how people leadership and the one rule fit together. We've got to pull it all together, right? And so do you remember what the one rule is? Let's give it a little refresher, right? I know I've talked about it and we spent the month of May talking about it. But this is something I want to continue to remind you of. I want it to be an anchoring point in everything that you do. Because we believe here at Legend Leaders, and I personally believe, that when you master that one rule, you really do get to write all of the other rules in your life and truly create and live a life well lived. Okay, so what is that one rule? Let's do a quick recap. That one rule is all about adding value. You absolutely want to have a life of career success and happiness. Right now, the majority of the world lives a life of an or life. They either have career success or they have happiness. They have career success and a little bit of happiness sprinkled in here or there. And what I want you to have is an and life. You have career success and happiness every single day because you figured out how to make that happen. And so that's what we're here to do, is to help you do that. So going down the path of having that and life, understanding that the one rule is all about adding value, that you become that irreplaceable asset in the marketplace because you understand exactly what you must do, right? You're not hopping on one foot, patting your head and rubbing your stomach, right? You're not doing all those things thinking that that is what got you promoted or what keeps you successful in your career. No, we eliminate the guesswork. And you step in and understand exactly what you must do. That is the one rule, value, and understanding exactly how to do that. So now, what does the one rule have to do with people leadership? How does that go together? Well, to master the one rule, you must master the 3 pillars of leadership. Personal leadership, which is how you lead yourself. That's where we always start. We must be able to lead ourselves first. The next is business leadership, right? How do I add value in my career or business if you own a business? And then the third piece is people leadership. And the reason for that is that in business, we don't do business with anyone but people. Business is all about people. Business is all about serving people and leading people. And so that's the reason why we throw people leadership in there. The other thing I want you to think about is this. If you are the chief doer on your team or in your business, then at what point will you have time back to go and live? What does that look like? You must surround yourself with people who are capable of doing the role, who have the desire and passion to do their roles, and who really want to add value themselves. And so you have to be a people leader. You've got to teach them how to add value. You've got to teach them how to serve the customer. And on a personal leadership side, you must have other people helping so that you can have your time back to do the things that bring you happiness and joy and allow you to serve in other areas of your life. Okay? So there's the why. That's why we're diving into this. Now, before we jump in and we just go full force into this topic of people leadership, today I wanted to do a couple of things. Number one, I wanted to really help you understand why the one rule, people leadership, and those two things go together, right? How do they fit together? What does that look like? Step number one, if you don't understand why, probably not going to be willing to try anything that I'm going to tell you, right? Let's keep it honest. I wouldn't. I would want to know why. So I'm going to bring you the whys. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to understand where you are in your people leadership sphere. Can you tell I was trying to say that and I was making sure I was going to say it correctly? People leadership sphere. Where are you? Now, what I most commonly find with clients and groups of individuals when I go in and speak to a team, it doesn't matter, okay? When I go in and start working with an individual, typically where that person is that they are in that survival mode, okay? And we get there very naturally. We get into this survival mode in our careers because we've got to have the income. We want to have the success. There's a multitude of factors there. But let's just summarize it to say that we're focused on making sure that we're safe. We're making sure that we're doing the things that we must do in order to maintain our careers. And then not only maintain, I mean, who wants to just maintain? Most of us want to continue to make more money, have more impact. And so we're striving and driving to do that, right? But today, what I want you to do, and the challenge I'm giving you, is I need you to do the gut check. It's what I always bring to you first. We've got to understand where we are in order to be able to determine where we want to go and create the roadmap to get there. So today is all about assessing where you are in your people leadership. Where are you? Are you being that servant leader? Are you understanding what your team is asking for? Are you giving them the tools that they need? Or are you so focused on taking care of you? Are you so focused on making sure that you're safe? Are you focused on doing the things that you must do or feel that you must do? And the team is an afterthought. It's you first, team second. Let's just be honest. If we can't be honest with ourselves, we can't move forward. And so you've got to assess that. Is your level of significance, you've got to be important, you've got to be recognized. Is that so high that, again, you come first and the team comes second? You may be approaching your team with the mindset or the thought process that you're putting them first. But today is the gut check. When you hear me right now, it's an honest assessment. Are you truly putting them first? Tell yourself the ways that you are putting them first. If the answer is something like, I'm putting my team first because I'm taking work off of them and I'm doing the bulk of it. Nope. You're not putting them first. If you are saying things to yourself like, I want the team to do this, but I've got to figure it out. Nope. If you're saying things like, you know what, I'm putting the team first, but we just had a new baby, or we just bought a new house, or my spouse just lost their job, or I'm looking at the economy and it's just a little unstable. So I really need to make sure that I'm safe, and then I'll circle back to doing some training with my team. Nope. You see, these are all the stories that we tell ourselves to help us believe, right? To align with our identity that we truly are a servant leader, when in reality, those stories are just stories. You're really not being that servant leader that you are capable of being. And quite frankly, and I'm going to give you the honest truth, that's why you listen to me, the stories are keeping you stuck, and they're not allowing you to master the one rule, and you're not being that servant leader. And what I need you to do today is I need you to do that honest assessment. You need, for yourself, to do the honest assessment, because you've got to understand where you are. You need to understand, do you need to pivot? Do you need to open your mind? Do you need to realize that you're not being that servant leader, and now let's learn how? Or are you going to listen to these next few episodes knowing that you really are being the servant leader, and that you just want to add a couple of tools to your toolbox? You just want to amplify your level of servant leadership. Only you know that. But leaders live in reality. And I need you to live in reality. So how are you leading today? Ask yourself. Because the rest of this month, I'm going to arm you with some tools. But if your mind isn't right to receive them, if you don't understand how you're going to apply them, you don't need to listen, quite frankly. Because it's not going to work. You're going to listen and you're going to add knowledge, but you're not going to take effective action after learning the information. And I need you, and I want you, and you want you to, most importantly, not what I want, what you want. You want to take action because you want to take a step forward and move down a little bit of a different path in your leadership. So I'm going to leave you with that. I've anchored it in enough. I've given you enough information. I've helped you understand why. Go ahead and do the work. Truly, gut check. Are you being a servant leader? What are the stories that you're telling yourself to validate that truth? And then question your stories. I'll see you next week. As always, go and be legendary.